This is Daniel Gefilm for Eat, Sleep, Boxing Repeat. It's an absolute pleasure to be joined by the new British Super Bantamweight champion, Liam Davies. Must have a nice ring to it, that, Liam.
Yeah, it's like I said, I believed it, and it's happened now. So it's a nice feeling, yeah.
Yeah, you were. That was the thing when we spoke 10 days ago, a couple of weeks ago, whatever it was. Obviously, you were well aware you were coming into like the biggest fight of your career on paper, the toughest fight of your career. But that was what I took away from the interview. You were extremely confident, extremely calm. So, in a way, does it not even really come as a surprise to you?
No, I expected myself to do it. I was confident, like I told you, didn't I? It will only bring the best out of me, and that's exactly what happened. Brought the best out of me, and I respected Mark then, and I respect him more now that we've shared the ring, and he's a top fighter, and I know he'll be back.
We'll come on to Mark and sort of the fight itself shortly, but I know you're not surprised. I know this is how you sort of expected to go, but it must be sort of surreal because like 2 years ago, you were doing the small hall shows in Stoke and Walsall, and now, in the space of COVID, in the space of lockdowns, you're British champion. You've got a great promotion you did with Frank Warren. Like literally, no one could predict how your career is going to go from here on in. Is that just sort of like a pinch yourself moment?
Yeah, of course, because you always believe it, but believing it and achieving it are two different things, and they're way off from each other. So yeah, it's just a blessing really that it's all paid off, and all the hard work and the small shows and the building up is all made it worth it. Now I'm here, got a good promotion behind me, good manager with my team, that same team that I started with, and yeah, we're all just living the dream together, about making memories together, which is the main thing.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Does that make it a bit more special, the fact you've come up with the same team from your start? Your dad in your corner, boxing's a family thing for you. Does that just make it all the sweeter?
Yeah, of course it does, because my dad and the other coaches I got, especially my dad, know what we've been through. We've been through it together. You roll with the punches together, the bad times and the good times, and yeah, we've finally got something decent. But like I was saying, I was speaking to someone the other day, like now we're here, we want more. So it was good to get here, but now we're looking to get more and keep pushing forward, because the sky's the limit, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll discuss what's next in sort of more detail soon, but I'll have to talk about the fight itself. I think sort of most people, I think even yourself, you were saying you weren't necessarily expecting it to be action-packed from the start, but the script was flipped on its head early. Obviously, you scored that big knockdown. There was that sort of quite bad clash of heads. I can still see you're still sort of wearing the marks of that. Just talk us through that first round. What's going through your head once you score that knockdown? Because I assume you're going in there with a game plan. Was it you sort of buzzed Mark quite badly with that knockdown? Is it hard to keep your discipline and not try and get him out of there?
No, because you get him reminded every round by my dad, and I knew before, we spoke a lot before, and that's what that would have been my downfall if I did rush him, because he's probably the best counter puncher in the division, I believe, and I just had to be disciplined, and I just coming back with open ears every round and keeping doing what I was being told to do. I think I threw a lot of good body shots. I hit him hard to the body as well, and yeah, I surprised him more than he surprised me, because I was expecting a tricky fighter, and I think he struggled with me in the end. And like I say, it's probably my best performance in my career, and I got the 12 rounds in the bank. So next time I just expect more from myself. I know what I've got to do, and I got to remain hungry and keep pushing on.
You mentioned Mark's abilities as a counter puncher. Was that sort of like one of the key parts of your game plan? I mentioned Richie Woodhall in the commentary said he was very impressed with how, you didn't get gritty and you wouldn't fall in after shots. Was that sort of one of the key aspects to avoiding Mark from getting going in his own game?
yeah, I couldn't afford to rush in and get countered. Sometimes I did get overexcited, and like I say, he caught me. So it's just a reminder, and like I say, my team telling me every round that I didn't have to rush and just keep doing what I was doing, and that's exactly what I did do.
Through the sort of early and middle rounds, you seem to be really enjoying yourself. The crowd was getting, really right behind you. Would you say that's the best atmosphere you've ever boxed in?
Yeah, of course it is. It's the most tickets I sold. I was main event, and yeah, I soaked it all up, didn't I? In round, your adrenaline's going. I was dead up for it. I was really up for the fight beforehand, and yeah, even mid-fight, even at the end, I realised it was going well for myself, and just had to keep doing what I was doing.
Yeah, you dominated, as I say, the sort of first half of the fight. Obviously, that knockdown. In the later stages, Mark did sort of come back into it slightly. But the time the final bell rang, were you always fully confident that you'd done enough to get the decision?
Yeah, because the way I've watched the fight back, and the rounds I won were very clear, and the rounds you could have given him were very close. So I can understand where you could have given, but I believe that I was very in each round as well. Even the rounds that you say you could have given him, you could have given me. So I don't. I watched the fight back, and I thought 8-4 to myself. And like I say, the rounds I won were big. The sixth round should have been a count. He sat on the ropes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought the commentary was poor. I don't really understand the commentary, because it's like they were ignoring the big shots to the body. No praise to the body shots I was doing. And yeah, he clipped me once or twice, and everyone there was applauding him a lot, which I don't think they once I heard about the body shots. And honestly, I hit him so many body shots with the right hand. And yeah, it's one of them. You don't get frustrated, and I ain't gonna let anyone take my moment away from me. So you just ignore people, don't you? Because people talk crap, and who are they to say they're right sometimes? I thought I won the fight. Yeah, 18, whatever, and saying I won 10 of the 12 rounds. Yeah, I agree. Maybe not. But it was unanimous, not like it was a split decision and the one was way off. So I don't see the problem. I'm just happy that the right winner won.
Yeah, no, I don't think I saw anyone, saying that you didn't win the fight. But is it almost frustrating when you see a scorecard as wide as Terry O'Connor's was? So then people sort of talk about that, and they make out that there is controversy when there maybe isn't any.
Yeah, because like I say, that's the judges are doing what they're doing, and to be honest, maybe he give the only I don't know how he done it, but the sixth round should have been a 10-8 round. The sixth round should have been, and yeah, it's just I'm not saying it's bothering, because I don't really give two shits about it, but yeah, it's just annoying because I hear Jamie Moore say after about the scorecard and people on about it, but I won the fight. I know I won the fight, and yeah, it's just a shame that had to get bring up. But it's one of them, innit? You're always going to get someone say something, so you just got to not give two shits, which I don't.
We'll not spend any more time chatting about it anyway, because there's much more exciting topics to discuss. Coming into this fight, there was a lot being talked about for Mark Leach. People saying he could go on the world level. People in his camp saying he could go on to fight in the AA, which I think you touched on. You've come in there. You've set the bookmakers' odds. What lies ahead for you now? I know you've called out Jason Cunningham. You've also said you would be willing to take some of the bigger domestic names. What in your heart of hearts, what would you like to be next?
Well, I'm number 3 in the country. I see, 21 in the world. So this is another thing I don't get. Why wouldn't I want someone above me and keep moving forward? That's what makes sense to me. But we see what goes on. But I think I deserve to keep working my way up. And yeah, that's what I want to do. I'd like the European title, we'll have to see what comes up. I'd like to win the British outright, but I see the people again trying to give me stick for saying about Cunningham. Like, how stupid are people? Why wouldn't I want the number one when I'm number 3? Do you know what I mean? How doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
We just have to see. I've been in the gym again this morning. I'm training. Once my nose healed, I'll be ready to go again.
So with regards to Jason Cunningham, he's obviously got that fight with Solana Tet coming up. If he wins that, he himself is probably going to look on to push closer to world level. Would you be happy fighting for a vacant European title if he was to vacate?
Yeah, because it's not about Jason Cunningham. It's not about him personally. I don't got a vendetta or anything like that. I just want to keep moving up, and European is the next one up. So I'm looking to do the best I can, and to do that, you got to fight people above you and move up and up, and that's what I'm looking to do.
If that fight wasn't to come to fruition, you probably still couldn't be with a better promoter for your division. You've got Dennis McCann, Andrew Kane you've had back and forth with. Would either of those fights appeal to you as a sort of big domestic fight if the Cunningham fight couldn't get made, or a fight for that European title couldn't get made?
Yeah, of course, they're all there to be made, all in there to be done, isn't they? But it's what have them two got to offer me? Do you know what I mean? They're better off fighting each other, and the winner fights me. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Which is not a problem for me. But them two that you're talking about, they fought no one. Do you know what I mean? One of them try and fight Mark Leach. I'm here and I ain't going anywhere. But they've got to earn their shot. If the fights don't get made, then they know where I am, and as long as it makes sense, and it doesn't matter to me. Everyone's got 2 arms, 2 legs, haven't they? And 1 head to punch, so it doesn't really matter to me who it is.
Yeah, well, hopefully bigger fights on the horizon anyway. Well, I touched earlier on the atmosphere in there on Saturday night. It was electric. I felt like the whole Telford was behind you. You've expressed a desire in sort of previous interviews about sort of bringing those bigger nights back to Telford. Is that something you would ideally going forward like to do? Is to continue fighting in Telford, continue building in the sort of buzz around you that's there at the moment, and sort of making a sort of hub for fighters coming up from Telford?
Yeah, of course it is. It makes sense. There's been a lot of shows, BT shows in Telford lately, and I think I deserve another headline in Telford. Like I say, I'll fight anyone. As a boxer, you don't make these decisions, do you? You have managers and you have people guiding you. So whoever it'd be nice for it to be in Telford, and I think I deserve another main event. So we'll see where it's going to be. It doesn't really matter where it is, but Telford is a good place for me and good place for the town, building the town up. And the young lads also from Telford that are boxing, turned professional. It's good for them too. So, yeah, Telford sounds good to me.
So wherever it may be, when do you think we could see you out again? The injury in your nose, it's healed slightly, but it still does it looks quite tasty. You said you were back in the gym sort of the last couple of days. When could we see you back out again, do you think, realistically?
I wish I knew. Soon as. I've been out the ring 7 months to that fight, and I don't want to be waiting around that long again. So hopefully everything heals and sorts itself out as soon as possible, and I can be out. Hopefully August, September. We just have to see. I'm going to keep my training up and hope on some news soon.
Would you be happy for a sort of stay busy fight in sort of September if it meant we could definitely see you back out again, then looking to make sort of a bigger fight towards the end of the year?
Yeah, of course. I at least want 2 fights this year. It's my first fight of the year, and we're what month? June. We're in June. First fight of the year, so I need 2 more fights this year, 100%.
And just lastly from me, Liam, when we spoke, you said it was sort of special moment for you bringing that English title to your grandfather's grave. I saw a photo doing the rounds on social media of you with that beautiful British belt down beside your grandfather. Just how special a moment must that have been?
Yeah, it's very satisfying, and it was a promise that I was able to keep for many years. That promise has always been in the back of my head, and I got to do it first time around, challenging for it, and I made it happen. So yeah, it's good, and it's not really sunk in yet, but in years to come, I will look back and look at it as more satisfying than I do now. But it's been a nice feeling for sure, and it's good for the family. And now we're just, like I say, now we've done it, we've been there, and I just want more now. I just want to keep taking more to him, and hopefully he's up there wherever he is. I'm sure he'd have had a few Guinnesses and celebrated himself Saturday night.
Yeah, well, he'll no doubt be incredibly proud. You're a young man yet, so I'm sure there's still plenty to come. I'll not take any more of your time, mate. Thanks again for doing it. Really great to hear from you again. Again, massive congrats on Saturday night, and looking forward to seeing you back in the ring, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yeah, thank you, and till next time.
Nice one,
Till
mate.
next
Cheers,
time,
mate.
mate.